Yeah, I saw this model boat in New York in a shop and asked the owner could I take pictures. I like the old style it has, and it looks a little bit kind of Russian. And I want to build it with materials that are lying around the house, like old materials, and see what I come up with. So I basically am using old wood for the hull. So what I'm going to do is take these blocks and glue them together and make a model boat. I got this leftover wood from a furniture designer called Maria, and I'm going to make it into a model boat. It's lovely wood. Now that it's close enough, I got it fairly in shape there. I can always put a little epoxy into clean line. The lines are pretty clean. I know it's stiff, but I'll work on that. I'm going to glue this together. Yeah, so I put all this wood together, and I didn't have vices wide enough to clamp it all the way across. So I've had to tack nail the planks together for the time being, just to hold them in place till the glue dries. Yeah, so I've decided to make it only 2 boards width and a bit smaller, so I'm cutting this off. Yeah, so you can see I've sketched out a little bit what I want to do. I've gone to 2 boards only, and I'm making it a little smaller. It was too big, too bulky. I'm going to cut off that board in front to make the bow a bit. Draw a line down the other side and cut it from the other side because the blade doesn't go through. The rough shape of the bow, the bow. And here's the back. And I got to chisel this half round yet. We have a rough shape today, maybe even a little bit better. Yeah, I still use a bit of oil and an oil stone to sharpen my chisel a little. This is the zen of doing a boat building. You know, you can grind it off with the special tools and all that, but you know, this is the nice way to do it. And let's start chiseling the back of the boat here. It won't take too long. I'm using a mallet because it's less hard on the hands. In the workshop because I have a vise here. So there's the boat, and as you can see up in here, there's a slight curve up, but there's also a piece left for the keel and the propeller. So I want to kind of shape that in as well while I'm at it. And it runs up in here a little, quite a ways. So I want to get that in while I'm doing the chiseling. So as not to split the bottom keel, like where the propeller's going, I've sawn in here a little. And so when I chisel, I won't crack that off. Just a precaution. So it's back to chiseling. I penciled out what I think the bottom's going to look like. Who knows? it's like molding clay in its own way, you know. To be patient. And if you use the mallet, it's a lot easier on the arms and hands. We're getting a little bit of a shape there now. And I'll do the other side and we'll start seeing a bolt maybe. So, I have kind of different stages in this where I'm chiseling away. But when I saw it first like this here, wait, don't lose that there, it's not sticking anymore. When I saw it like this I call this the very rough stage. I get the block ready and see, as you can see on these lines here, my hull's out. So I call that the very rough stage. And I saw the backs off. And then I get into chiseling, and I'll get chiseling the shapes like this here. As you can see here, I'll bring it up a little closer. There you go. And if I get chiseled a bit more and it still has chisel marks, that'll be the rough stage. And then I'll start finessing it. And that's basically how I operate. Always the same, more or less. Very rough, rough, and then kind of the chiseled stage, or the finer chisel stage, and then the finishing. So, you know, there is a process. I'm just really shaping at the moment like you were shaping clay or a mold. So I'm just going to keep on going here and try to get a feel for what I'm going to do at the back of this boat here. This is a model. It's not a it's not to be floating or anything, just for display. I think the boat's too high, so I'm taking a slice off the top here. I'm going to cut it right across the whole boat, that much off. It's a little high. The boat was too high. It looked a little awkward in the drawings. It looks a bit lower. So what I've done is I've cut from here all the way back through and then dropped up to make up for this lip here. So I don't have to put anything in there, it's already there. So I'll make that the front piece of the boat. So there we go. Took me a while, but there we go, the boat's off, it's nice and level. Now I have my step up and all, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's beginning to shape up. It's beginning to look like the boat in the picture, I think. Needs a little bit more work. Now I'm down to the more finer finish, and cut this out and giving it more shape, and I'm going to leave this in for the edging up here and hollow this out. So now I'm into the more of the finessing of it, the shape, the finesse of the shape of it. So we're getting close. I mean, it's beginning to look what I want it to look like. I need to round these off a little bit more. I do have a problem here. I need a little bit of filler in here because there's a knot that's cracked. But anyways, I'm quite happy. It's going to be a nice model when I'm done. But there we go. This is the beginning of the hull, I suppose. And I need a break. So I've done it from like 10 to 3, so 5 hours, and I'm at this, so that's not bad.